Welcome to another episode of Professional Photographer versus Amateur Photographer. In our last battle, I destroyed the famous Mike Kelley as we photographed the Dome House in Charleston, and a year later, I have returned, and we are shooting one of the fanciest houses in Charleston currently for sale. Mike, how confident are you?
Very. I mean, last time the audience kind of led you on and they thought your photos were better until they found out who actually took them, and then it dawned on them, they all woke up, thankfully, and they said, Mike Kelley is clearly the winner.
Well, there's no doubt that YouTubers like Mike Kelley more than they like Lee Morris, but everybody knew that already. The great thing about this contest is we're going to be taking pictures, releasing them anonymously. And then we will see who the greatest photographer in the world is. Let's do this. If you guys don't know, Mike is literally one of the most famous architectural photographers in the world at this point. And I destroyed Mike at his own game. It's almost like I'm a prophet because exactly what I said was going to happen, happened. And the vast majority of people online, 70% of people believe that my images were yours, and almost the exact same amount, right at 70% of people preferred my set of images to yours.
I am a terrible architectural photographer.
The truth has been told. Last time we shot a $5 million one-of-a-kind dome house.
Yeah.
This time we're shooting a $6.2 million house. This is 1926 Maybank Highway. If you guys have an extra $6 or $7 million lying around, this is one of the nicer homes in all of Charleston. And the realtor was nice enough to let us have our competition here. Before we start shooting, we need to come up with a game plan.
We do.
In the last competition, we shot at the exact same time, and we took 3 pictures, and we created a little spread.
Montage,
yeah, montage, and we released that and let people vote on which was the best montage.
Right.
There's something a little different about this shoot, though. One, we're wearing the exact same clothes for some unknown reason.
I feel like the emoji twins, like, you know, they dance together.
Yeah, that was a mistake. We did not plan this, but I think for the sake of this video, I think we should
For the sake of your entertainment.
We should use each other as assistants.
Oh, I like that. That's a good idea.
So
you had that bullet in the chamber, didn't you? You were waiting to say that.
Well, we were discussing it on the way here. I think it
okay.
can make it a little bit more interesting. Plus, being this is new gear and lighting and everything.
We don't know what's going on.
We don't have a Cam Ranger.
Oh, we don't have a Cam Ranger, so we're gonna eyeball all this.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, it's gonna be a learning experience. Why don't we walk around the house really quick together, and we'll just look at all the different potential options here. But the basic premise is the same. We're taking 3 pictures, we're making a little spread.
Yep.
That's what we're gonna release to the internet.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go check out the house. For this video, we have 3 different sponsors, and we're going to be using the gear from these camera companies to actually create the photos that we're going to compete with in this video. The first sponsor is Fujifilm's GFX 50R camera. This is a large format mirrorless camera, and at right around $4,000, it's an incredible price. It's one of the most affordable large format cameras on the market today. Now, this camera has a slightly more compact rangefinder style body, but it's got the exact same sensor as the much more expensive Fujifilm GFX 50S. You're going to get the exact same image quality compared to the 50S, and of course, all of the same lenses work. Now, this camera looks pretty unique. It's a rangefinder style body, and in many cases, I feel like I have really big hands. Rangefinder cameras don't really feel very comfortable to me. But this camera actually does. It's large enough that it fits in my hand, but it's still one of the most compact, large format cameras on the market. I know a lot of architectural photographers are moving over to this system. They love the larger sensor, they love the high ISO performance, and of course, that incredible resolution. Now for this shoot, we have 2 different lenses that we can use. This is the 32 to 64 f4 lens. This is approximately 25 to 51 millimeters if you're accustomed to 35 millimeter full frame. And then this lens is a 23 millimeter f4. This is approximately 18 millimeters full frame equivalent. So if we only have 3 images to take, we have to take like
similar
the
images?
showstopper. I mean, we can if you want to set some ground rule like that. I'm just trying to figure out, this is the front of the house.
Yeah.
And when you look at the listing online, the photographer that they hired did an amazing job already. But I don't recall seeing pictures from this side. This is the front, but the other side is the waterfront side, so obviously that other side's more important. But I love the shape of this house from here.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love the trees, I love the nature out here. You got the Spanish moss, which blows my mind every time I see it. It's like the coolest plant on planet Earth.
Do you think you're gonna do a shot out here?
I'd like to do a shot. I mean, I think it's important, right? Maybe an inside and 2 outside shots or something. As far as visual impact goes, Might be a good one to get.
Now let's go back inside, see what other shots there are inside.
I like that it's not insanely big.
7,000 square feet is a quaint home to you, Mike? This feels amazing.
Oh, wow.
I don't need bed sheets. I'm just gonna lay on this. All right, Mike, this is the master bedroom. And as you can tell, it's nice, but
I don't think it's a money
like
shot.
if we only have 3 shots to show.
Yeah.
But it's certainly worth checking out the bathroom in here. Check this out. Look at this shower.
Wow, look at this. I can get used to this.
4 shower heads. Quite possibly the largest shower I've ever seen in my entire
shower
life.
head for each limb.
Yes, and then a gigantic bathtub for 2 over here. Let's see if it fits for 2. It's like I'm looking into a mirror right now.
Living the good life.
If I were wearing a toupee.
If you had hair, yeah.
So here's the closet.
The nursery, dark mahogany office.
So little breakfast nook area. So this is kind of the common area of the house. We have a dining room here. The living room, very pretty, but it feels a little confined to me for how large this house is. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can capture this and get the view outside. But it's a little trickier than some other homes. Even though we're so close to the water, there's trees in the way.
And the mullions are super thick. It's not like a really slick modern house with floor-to-ceiling glass windows. There's a lot of material between the room and the actual water out there. So
that is true. And I feel like the kitchen looks incredible. So I don't want to give you any hints, but I might try to incorporate both if I have to.
A big debate in the comments of the YouTube videos was, are you trying to tell the story of the house in 3 shots, or do you just want the 3 single best pictures? That was something that came up. I read a lot, and they said, Mike told the story of the house, but we had better detail, like your fireplace shot last time. So I'm kind of wrestling with that now.
My goal is to humiliate you as best I can.
Okay.
So
well, while you're trying to do that, I'll be focusing on making good pictures.
Mike, I don't know if you've been following the other photo competitions that we've been doing.
About 5 minutes of the pie one.
Okay. After I destroyed you, I've lost every other competition I've joined. I've proven myself to be the worst photographer on the planet now because I've lost 2 in a row. However, you lost to me. So you are the worst photographer in the world, and at the very least, I am the 2nd worst photographer in the world.
I will happily allow you to go on thinking that way.
Okay.
You're gonna dupe yourself even harder when the results of this one come out.
Okay. So what are you thinking about the outside of this?
I think the outside is pretty amazing. I think it's gonna come down to angle selection. And I do have a question, like, do we have any tilt shift lenses tonight? Or
of course not.
No.
What
are you shooting with, a 50? What do we have?
Yeah, I haven't looked at the lenses,
I have no idea.
I don't know.
So we could be shooting with a 50 and an 85.
We'll have to do some stitching. Here's another problem that we're gonna run into.
What's that?
If we're only using 1 camera, who gets to shoot the twilight shot?
We both have to shoot twilight shots. I think we'll set up our individual tripods and then we can fight. We can have a death match.
How are we gonna do that though? Because you like shooting all the way into darkness, don't you?
Look, I am confident enough in my skills that I know the exact 2-minute period where twilight is the best. So I'll let you dick around with the camera for 30 minutes. I'll just take it for those 2 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You're that confident? 2 minutes? We're gonna put the countdown clock while you're shooting and hold you to that.
All right.
Take a look at this bathhouse. I don't think we can shoot anything in here, but look how crazy this is.
That's amazing.
It's like a spa. All right, Mike, as we sit in this private sauna, what's your game plan here?
Well, I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to have you knock off my ideas. I have 3 shots in mind, 2 exteriors and an interior. All of them are very light, critical. What's your plan? Let's see if we can work around each other.
Well, I don't know. I thought we had 4 hours, so I thought you'd do a shot.
I'm being generous and giving you all the time.
Well, I know, but now it's making me uncomfortable. I have so much time. I don't know what to do with it. All right. Well, let's go see what gear we have to shoot.
All right, let's go check it out.
Let's talk about our next sponsor. This is the Manfrotto Red Bee 310 backpack. This backpack has a really interesting design. We have standard pouches on the front, top, and sides, but you access the main compartment from the back of the backpack. So if we spin this around here, you can see that we can open it up from the back. What I do like about this backpack is this additional mesh panel that they have here. And what this does is it keeps all of your gear in place. You've probably used a camera bag or backpack before where the dividers are significantly lower than the top of the bag itself. So if the bag flips over, things might start moving around, they might jump over the dividers. This keeps everything in place. So if you have a tablet, a laptop, or maybe some papers, you can put those right on top here. But this mesh is gonna keep all of your gear in place. Inside this is all of the gear that we're allowed to use today. All right, let's see what we can use. That goofy intro was lit by the ProPhoto B10. We're both familiar with this. I'm currently blind.
There's a little circle in my vision.
Yeah, but we can use this, and we have two of these.
Cool.
We have the GFX 50R.
Okay.
And I did open this morning, and I was trying to get it to work with my cell phone so that we could trigger it remotely.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I have not taken a photo with this. So this is new to me too. And what lens is that?
This is is that 23? Is that what that means?
Yeah,
or
23 millimeter.
So that's pretty wide, right? That's like a 17.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Cool.
So this is everything you need, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have your fancy tilt shift mumbo jumbo.
I don't have my fancy tilt shifts. That's gonna mess me up. But I think
I didn't need those to beat you last time, though.
Oh my God. What are the pills that you get prescribed for, like, delusions of grandeur? Is there something that they give you?
It's called a reality pill. It's called, I looked at the statistics of who liked which photos the best, and the vast majority chose mine.
Okay, all right. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
So we have a Manfrotto tripod and tripod head sponsor for today. You have to use this as well. Obviously it's gonna work fine, but you of all people, you have the most outrageous tripod head of anyone on the planet. How much did you spend on your tripod head?
It's like $1,600 or something.
For just the head?
Yeah, and I have two of them.
Yeah, we're not doing that today. We're not doing that today. We're using this one. Here's my question.
Sure.
Do you want to take the first shot, or do you want me to take the first shot?
I want you to take the first shot.
Give me the camera.
First mover advantage.
Give me the camera. All right, guys, I am up to take the first photograph. I'm here in the kitchen. I feel like the kitchen is one of the most important rooms in any house, so I don't want to overlook this. I am standing back in the corner here. I'm getting a 2-point perspective. Is that right, Mike?
That is, yeah, we'll give you that one.
Okay. And the tricky thing about this shot is that I really want to be able to get the view. I want to be able to show that there's water right outside, but it's so bright outside and so dark in here, I'm gonna have to do a lot with the strobe to pull this off. So what I'm going to do first to cover my butt, and I know Mike's gonna have a problem with this, I'm gonna bracket through the entire range of the outside being underexposed all the way to the outside being overexposed. I don't have a
problem with that. That sounds like a good plan.
And here's what I'm also going to do. I'm going to bracket twice, once with the lights on in here and once with the lights off in here. Because I want to make...
You're not confident in your abilities to make a good picture.
Absolutely not. All right, so I've bracketed the shot with the ambient lights on and off. That's going to cover me. Now I've set the camera back to 1/25th of a second for my shutter speed. I'm shooting at f8 and shooting at ISO 100. This is giving me a correct exposure on the scene outside, but of course, our kitchen in here is going completely black. So what I'm going to use is the B10 now. I'm going to walk around and light up each individual part of the scene. And then when we get back into post, hopefully I'll have tons of images to work with. I can combine them all together. Now I'm gonna be using the Fuji app here. Let's see if this works. Hey, it works on the first try. Now that I've got this working, I'm going to strobe this window frame here first. Just,
Now I noticed that we're flashing, so I assume that you've set the scene the way you want it.
I have.
And you've styled it accordingly, and you've moved furniture to make it look better and everything like that, because you're locked into your composition now, so you can't move anything. So I'm just going to assume that you're done and everything looks the way you want it.
The realtor has hired a professional stylist, and I am going to delegate that skill to them.
Okay.
I would not undermine her expertise.
Fair.
What I have done, Mike, in case you want to learn any of these techniques, I've walked around and I've popped different areas of light, mostly off of the ceiling, and I'm getting soft, even light that's a nice, even tone as well. It matches the daylight that we have outside. So I'm not using any of the light bulbs that we have in here. I don't want any of that mixing. I'll mix it when we get back into post.
Are you worried about the orange bleeding in from the left-hand side? Because all the tungsten is on over there.
I am not, because...
Because you forgot, that's why.
No,
Yeah.
no, I am not worried about that because right now I'm shooting exclusively with strobe.
All right.
So I don't think it's a problem. So I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna start firing this through the glass, and hopefully we're gonna be able to get some nice...
rays.
Yes.
All right.
That's the dream. All right, so I tried to go outside. The app is not able to reach through these incredibly thick windows and doors. So now I have Mike outside. Yeah, just hold it up like that. And I will go back to pressing the button on the camera like the good old fashioned way. Let's see, I'm not getting quite enough power. So I'm changing my f-stop. What's going on out here? So I can't see any of the light coming inside now. I don't know why. You were messing with me?
No.
What were you doing? Because nothing was showing up. Okay, now it's like the power of God. I want you back over here where I told you to be, and I want you to fire it the right way.
I was firing it the right way.
If you sabotage me, it's only coming right back to you even harder. So they're looking good. I'm just getting hard light coming in. It looks like sunlight, you know, if it were coming in through a window. All right, I'm done here. Let's give the camera over to Mike, and let's see what he comes up with for his first shot. In today's shoot, we're going to be using exclusively the Photo B10. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. These are not cheap, but it's my favorite light ever. Mike Kelley's been shooting with Photo for years, and he was super excited when these lights came out as well. We actually got a pre-production model right when these came out, and Mike took one of them from us and did a big job, and then immediately went out and bought some of his own. What I love about these lights is just how small and convenient they are. They are battery powered, but what's great is that you can plug them in with AC power and you can use them while they charge. For this shoot, we actually used one battery all day long, and I think we lost only 1 bar of power. So this could definitely handle an entire day of shooting. My favorite part of Photo lights is probably their air remote system. It's so much more reliable than the Pocket Wizards I used to use. I've been using the Photo air remote for years now, over extremely long distances through walls and windows. I don't think I've ever had a single misfire. Now, if you're looking for something even smaller than this, check out the Photo A1 or A1X. Those units are even smaller. They can be used on your camera as a bounce flash, and they use the exact same Photo air remote system.
All right, so I'm gonna take my first swing at this Fuji here. And the 17 looks a little bit too wide. Unlike Lee, I don't wanna make the view out in the back, you know, infinitesimally small. So I'm gonna use the 24-70 equivalent lens.
How long have you been holding on to that word?
And I'm gonna try to bring that view, make it feel larger than life, and really drive home the sort of essence of this home. And we just took a photo of the kitchen. I mean, yeah, it's cool, whoop-de-doo. All right, so 17's too wide, or 23. This is the 23, which is about a 17 millimeter equivalent, right?
Yeah.
I know someone in the comments will tell me how wrong I am, but. All right, there's my 32-64. So what I've opted to do is a shot of the living room and a little bit of the kitchen. And I'm gonna do a 1-point perspective. I think what I'm gonna do is go line myself up with this beam here. I haven't used this camera ever before, so bear with me. Now I'm just kind of rearranging some furniture, kind of eyeballing it here because I'm using the back of the screen. I'm not really tethering. So I've opened up the doors. I've brought some liveliness into this space, and I am just dialing in my final composition and making sure that everything looks the way I want it to look. One thing I don't love is that I'm a 1-point perspective here. I'm lined up going straight out the back doors, but these beams in the ceiling aren't totally centered, so I've kind of made a sacrifice, and I've agreed with myself. I've come to terms with the fact that I'm gonna have to line up between these 2 chairs rather than on the line of those beams, which I hope doesn't kill me, but it is life, so let's see what we can do. Bring the blue chair that's further away from you. It looks like it needs to come in. Maybe it needs to rotate. I don't know, just line it up so it's on the same plane as the other one. Those flowers, like I like the color, but they're so visually dense, and the bases look kind of cheap. So I'm gonna move them further from the camera.
Yeah, Mike is a little bit more detail oriented, but at the
devil is in the details, Lee.
Time, nothing is symmetrical in this room with these doors.
What's not centered here? Where?
Like the camera isn't centered with the doors,
I'm going right down the middle so you can see out through all the furniture. If I put the camera here, you just trip visually right on the back of this chair, right?
Listen, there's aspects of what you're doing that I like, but there's there's a little bit of oddity going on, Mike.
But already in 5 minutes, we put more thought into one photograph than you put into all of yours.
You keep talking crap, Mike.
I can't wait for the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
Mike Kelley's head is so far up his butt. How does anyone? Oh no!
Mike, it is literally 100 degrees outside, and you have the 3 biggest doors in the house open, and the heat, it's like an oven, is coming in here.
Maybe that's my strategy to irritate you.
What happened when I said, why don't we close the doors until you're ready to shoot, and you said, I'm almost ready to shoot?
I am almost ready to shoot. Architecture photography is very slow.
Yeah, we could have had the doors closed and then open them right as you press the shutter button.
You can, all right, go close them if you want.
Oh, now I can close them.
I guess if you're gonna sit there and complain the whole time, then
we've
go
spent
ahead.
$1,000 in air conditioning.
Oh my Lanta.
He's nervous. He sees the end again coming. All of the Mike Kelley followers questioning their allegiance, realizing that the producer of Mike's tutorials was truly the talent, and Mike himself is only.
Die.
What?
This is how you die.
What?
Okay, I think I got that in the bag.
Doors open.
Yeah, open the damn doors. Go ahead.
You forgot that they
I forgot to open the doors because I'm so hot, probably because the doors were open for so long. Because he won't stop talking. Oh my God.
So, are you going to be strobing at all? Or are you just going straight up bracket HDR?
I don't have any time.
You don't have any time.
My next shot, the
When we
light's
spoke
perfect
earlier, you said you wanted to begin shooting at 7.
Are you ready? I'm ready for my shot outside. You know what? I'm just going to commandeer this and I'm going to get my exterior shot right now.
Oh, you're just skipping ahead.
You know, why don't you do it?
No, I don't really know what I want to do. Yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
This is the front exterior, and I know I've got to get a shot at twilight, but something I really enjoy doing is coming outside and getting some exteriors when you have that nice golden sunlight kind of washing over everything. It gives this really warm, inviting feel. And because the light is so good, it's so easy to just crank out as many shots as you can while everything looks good and is perfectly ready to go. So again, one of my favorite things, coming out here an hour before sunset when everything just looks amazing and you can't take a bad picture. So I've got my shot lined up. I'm using the 23mm, which is about a 17mm on 35mm format, if you can get the math right. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's definitely wider than a 24. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to be cropping in a little bit because I don't have my tilt shift lenses that would allow me to kind of correct the perspective. So like I said, I'll be shooting wide, cropping in. This thing has a beautiful 50 megapixels and we should still get a great quality shot regardless. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out. I'm gonna do a bracketed run of exposures, which is gonna be +3 stops either way from 0, so 7 shots total.
You like the way this tree's just cutting across that?
I do.
You don't think it's a huge mistake and everybody's gonna yell at you for it?
Everyone yells at me for everything, so.
Yeah, but this time they're justified.
So there are many shots in architecture where it might be in your best interest to add a little bit of additional flash to bring up exposure for the interior to match it with the exterior. But in this situation, because that light is so soft and it's, like I said, raking across the landscape, the shadows are nicely filled in. It's not a super direct overhead sunlight. We don't need to add any flash to make this look really, really good. And again, I want to keep this simple. The main thing I want to focus on is just great composition so I can knock this guy back to where he belongs.
You sure about this?
Yep.
You want all that gravel in the foreground?
Oh my God.
All right, so looking at Mike's composition here, I don't know, I don't love it. I don't love it.
I know you don't have the ability to pre-visualize, but trust me.
I don't need to pre-visualize, I'm looking at it right here.
Looking at it on a thumbnail size screen.
Yeah, I can't imagine this big. It would be even worse. Just the way that you combine these two trees on the right and they're going over the garage that's got all the sunlight in it. Step aside, Mike, let me show you. All right, I think I have a plan. I already know what you're gonna shoot next. You told me what you're gonna shoot next, so when I tell you what I'm about to do.
Well, let's just say I'm gonna shoot from that corner vertically this way.
Perfect, perfect.
All right.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
What are you gonna do?
I am going to shoot a vertical image from here, firing this way to show this incredible pool, to show the tree, and then of course to show the amazing view and the river.
Cool, so a picture of a tree.
Hold on, Mike.
Got it.
Here's how deep my brain is going.
Next level.
Remember what we're doing here. We are creating a 3-image montage.
Right.
And what really sells this house is the land on this water right here. And right now, you've taken it a little bitty out of a window. I've taken it little bitty out of a window. But the most valuable piece of this entire property, you're not dedicating an image to.
What you're forgetting is that the time to shoot the view has come and long since passed. Look, the water looks black and dark like the night. What are you going to get out of it at this time of day?
I'm gonna
look depressing.
No.
The light sucks. It's flat. It's
No, I'm gonna shoot like a dusk style shot right here. Look at that. Look at that face of worry right there.
I'm just concerned for your mental health after this.
Okay. All right, so a sailboat is coming right into my frame. The problem is the boat is so large and so close that it's hard to even tell what it is. And it doesn't have a sail zone. Will you just walk up these stairs and just fire light? I just want some light hitting these frames here.
Does this picture look any good?
I'm not too sure. I'm not feeling super confident about this one. All right, guys. Mike said he needed a little bit more time for the sun to go down. I've now taken 2 different second shots. This is my 3rd one. I'm just kind of walking around taking shots, but
I'll let you off the hook.
All right,
I'm a nice guy, you know.
So I'm getting Mike to stand on a chair. Mike, show everybody how you hold a light. On your head like you were doing before. Thank you very much. And I'm just taking a few shots here. I'm getting some nice fake sunlight. The sun actually is coming from that direction, but it's behind these trees. So Mike is replicating the sun coming through. I'm getting some really nice looking shadows across the ground here. It's lighting up these pillars. I think I'm done. Now, the most essential part of any architectural shoot is the tripod and tripod head. And Manfrotto today gave us the Manfrotto 190 Go. This is their travel tripod version of their famous 190 tripod. Now, this version of the tripod comes in carbon fiber, and just like the last one that we reviewed by Manfrotto, this is incredibly sturdy and well built. Usually these things flex. This is not flexing at all. Now, the hinges on these legs have 3 different positions so that you can get the tripod closer and closer to the ground, just like that. And of course, my favorite feature that I've mentioned multiple times with Manfrotto tripods is that this can rotate 90 degrees so that you can shoot straight down. This is great for product photography, or potentially if you were shooting over a balcony and you want to be able to shoot straight down. It's very difficult to do that with a standard tripod, but with this you can angle it out over the balcony and shoot straight down. Now, on top of the tripod, we have a MHX Pro 3WG 3-way pan head. I really enjoyed using this tripod head during the shoot because you can quickly move this into a general position, but then you can easily fine tune it with these gears. Now, for something like portrait photography, getting your camera perfectly dialed in isn't as necessary because your subject's gonna be moving around. But if you're shooting a house where your vertical lines need to be perfectly vertical, having something like this where you can perfectly dial it in is a must. All right, for this final shot, I think Mike and I are probably going to do something pretty similar. He was framing up a shot right over here. But here's the thing. For Mike to get this 3-image montage, he needs to get a vertical image, and I imagine this is gonna be his vertical image here. That could be good because it's probably gonna be the largest image in his 3-image montage. However, I feel like you're not really doing this house justice by cropping in and showing only a portion of the house. I'm going to do the opposite of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a shot of the house, I'm going to light paint it, and then I'm going to pan over and I'm going to do a pano shot. I'm gonna stitch these 2 images and I'm gonna show not only the entire house, but I'm also going to show where this house is sitting in this incredible piece of real estate that it's on. I think we need to work together on this if we're both going to get a twilight shot, because this is gonna be so fast.
Yeah.
And I've already been using the Fuji app. It doesn't seem to work very well over long distances. So can we agree to not sabotage each other and just get the job done?
Not sabotage you.
You'll attempt.
Yeah.
All right, guys, the time is very near. 2 minutes until official sunset. I'm waiting just until we get a little bit more of an even exposure between the lights inside and the sky. Mike, let me go ahead and get you to start popping light.
All right.
Good, get a little closer and just fire up for me at the top of the house up there. Hit the middle. So I've underexposed the shot, and with Mike flash popping the house, I'm getting a correct exposure on the house. The whole idea here is that we can get an even exposure with the sky, the exterior of the house and the interior light. So Mike's gonna be in each one of these shots, but we can Photoshop him out. That's not gonna be any trouble at all. Mike, hit this tree up here for me. Hit that little breakfast nook. Hit the bushes and these flowers right there. I think Mike might be better at knowing exactly what to flash pop right there.
Oh my God!
Mike about just fell in the pool. Okay, and now I'm gonna pan.
That's not gonna work.
Why?
Parallax, son.
I'm not worried about parallax.
Did you learn nothing from Elia Licardi's tutorial?
I'm not worried about that. We got lots of trees. We can deal with the parallax. Let me get you to flash pop this a little bit. 3, 2, 1. All right, Mike. This is not ideal, but I think I've taken too much of my time.
Thank you. All right, I've backed up a little bit to get the perspective I kind of want. You get the house framed really nicely with the Spanish moss, which I think is really cool. And I'm gonna go vertical. That's what I agreed to do. And I'll level the camera here. So what we've been waiting for is the ambient light to fall as the sun goes below the horizon and the interior light to become brighter. And what you want is the interior light to be roughly the same exposure as the ambient light on the exterior of the house. And we're just about there. And the setting that I use to know that I'm in the right area is, again, half a second, ISO 200, and my f-stop of 8. So that being said, I'm going to begin a bracket here. All right, so I have set my bracket to be 1 stop brighter and 1 stop darker than the middle exposure. All right, so the sky's looking great. I love a lot of sky in my pictures. I'm going vertical. I'm probably gonna put a little more sky than usual just to kind of fill up some of that frame. I am using this tree as a nice framing element. Like I said earlier, that Spanish moss is kind of one of those quintessential South Carolina trademarks, so I'm gonna make sure I work that into the photo. And at this point, I'm gonna have Lee take the pro photo and do a little light painting for me. Yeah, go full power and aim it right at my feet. Ready? Now what I'm doing that's different than Lee is I am trying to bring the light towards the camera to draw your eye into the house where he was lighting the house itself.
Damn it. Forgot about that. So you're not lighting the house at all?
No, there's tons of light over there. So Lee took the approach of lighting up the house, but I mean, if I look at the house, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's plenty of exterior lights, so I'm not gonna add to the visual confusion. And lots of open windows, so we got plenty of light over there. All right, so now you can really see that nice warm interior glow coming out of the house. I'll do one last bracket here. Done.
Really?
Yeah.
Mike, that was it?
Yeah, good match, good rematch, but
it's only just beginning. It's only just beginning. So we'll head home. We have to do this really quick because I'm not going to be in Charleston for very long.
So even for,
we have to edit the photos tomorrow, release them anonymously, get them up for voting, and then later that night or the next morning,
film another video.
Film the end to this entire thing.
Madness.
Let's get to it.
All right.
All right, Mike. We have had to expedite this entire process.
Yep.
In the last competition, I think we had a week or 2.
Yeah.
2 days ago, we filmed the actual shoot.
Then we edited.
Yesterday, we edited.
Yep.
We put them online late last night for voting.
Yep.
And today, we're having to do the reveal.
Yep.
So this is my first shot.
Wow.
This is my favorite shot. And this is why I'm a little worried about this competition. I feel like when we shot the Dome House, I had 2 images that I was really happy with, but with this set, this is really the only one I'm happy with.
What would happen if you put a cue ball on that countertop? Where would it roll? Would it stay on the countertop, or would it just immediately clunk onto the floor?
So wait, you think which way does it look like it's leaning?
It's sloping this way, isn't it?
Oh, I thought it looks like it's sloping the other way.
No one even knows because this thing it's like a fun house in there.
So wait, what do you think I did wrong? I shot too wide or what?
I mean, who knows what the audience is gonna say?
Don't make excuses right now.
I thought I had the last contest in the bag, and we all know how that went. So I don't know. I'm not gonna put any words in anyone's mouth. I think you're too wide. And your lighting is very strange.
I was as far back as I could possibly get.
You can tighten up a little bit, you know?
You mean
And
I
then
could
I don't know what
crop
happened.
in?
It looks like there's fire damage in the mullions. What is that from?
Fire damage in
Look
the
how
wall.
it's gray in the windowsills.
Oh yeah, that's a little
Yeah.
lazy Photoshop
Questionable.
work. Yeah, I agree. And somebody pointed out that like above these pillows down here,
There's some haloing.
yeah, haloing.
Yeah.
It's just lazy. And then I wish that I could have gotten the light bulbs to be on.
Yep.
But I did shoot this wide with the intention. I knew that it was going to be a wide shot, so you'll see. But
That looks pretty good.
I crop in a lot
Yeah.
for the montage that's coming up. Next up. So something else that I realized as I was leaving the night of the shoot was that I think one reason why I may have beat you
Oh God.
in the last competition was because my favorite shot was my vertical image. And because of the way our 16:9 montages
Oh,
work,
your fireplace one, yeah.
the vertical shot needs to be the largest.
Right.
And this is probably my least favorite shot,
Yeah.
and it is going to be large.
Yeah, I don't. I maybe you have some artistic.
Yeah, it's going over your head for sure. No, I agree. I don't love it. I don't love it. Like, here was my thought, and I think you'll see this in the video. I was thinking the reason this house is $6 million is because of the land. And I was thinking that you weren't doing a good job of showing that this was even waterfront property. So I thought, ooh, I'm going to go this other route, and I'm going to show the water in every single shot. But I don't think that's going to help people choose my set of images at all.
I agree. I probably could have done a better job of showing the landscape, but I got caught up in architectural photography. Here's a house. Let's take photos of the house, not the
Yeah.
landscape.
Yeah.
So we'll let the audience be the judge of that. But
I agree. It's not the best shot of the house, but would you agree that from a realtor's perspective, stuff like this is very important?
yeah, but I mean, you could have done a better job editing it. It looks really underexposed and like.
So I had some flash pop ones, you know,
Yeah.
and
Well, even just like lift up the shadows. You got that medium format goodness. Whereas the tree is like a
Yeah.
blob of black.
yeah, it just started looking really HDR-ish. So
Okay.
I thought I'm gonna tone down my photoshopping because people last time said it looked like we were going to fucking Mordor. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna tone
And
it
that
down.
was like the most commented on comment of the whole thing. But I think what would have been a cool shot is if we got rid of the pillars and just got really close to the infinity pool and had the tree in the reflection. But we were at each other's throats all day, and it was 105 degrees or whatever it was, and we were both dying of heat. So our brains were not in the brightest of spots. So you'll be forgiven for that atrocity of a photograph.
Next shot.
All right, this one is what, 11 millimeters wide or something? This is your stitch.
Yeah, my stitch. Yes.
It came out a lot better than I thought it would, to be totally honest. I don't hate it. I was expecting to think this was going to look like vomit, and I think there's like some distortion issues with the pool in the foreground here. That's because you're just close,
Yeah.
But I like it more than I thought I would. But
I don't love it. I think it's okay,
yeah,
but I like my Mordor shot better.
you fell into the trap of trying to show everything, And
Yes.
I think it could work, but maybe you have to because look at how big the house is on the right-hand side compared to the left-hand side. It's like twice the width of,
I don't know if that's what bothers me. I felt like the house, from my angle, it looks so busy. And I edited this shot twice. This is actually a completely natural light shot of the house.
Yeah.
No flash pops
Yeah,
on any
you
part
didn't
of
need
this.
to add anything. It was so.
Well, I think I did. So this was a shot earlier. When
Yeah.
I shot later, the flash pops were necessary, I think. But I don't know. I'm not totally
There's so much
happy.
going on here. I don't think you need to add more confusion with light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, shall we?
All right. Here is my montage.
Okay. Yeah, I think this kills your left-hand vertical montage bit.
I agree. I'm not totally happy with it, and I feel like if I had had a little more time, maybe I would have tried something totally different on the left shot. I was also wondering if there was a way that I could somehow make my kitchen a vertical shot, and then I could have used the exterior.
I think I spent more time figuring out my montage than actually editing the final picture.
Yeah, so last night when I was editing, I was up so late, and Patrick needed to go, and I was just like, oh, I'm not really happy with this, but this is it.
Yeah, I
This
spent
is
all
it.
day editing, and you were like, "Let's go on the boat, man. We're going on the boat." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "No, I'm sitting here editing these photos."
I
'cause
chose the
I
boat
gotta
over the
avenge my-
competition.
All right, here's my number one image, my 1-point failure, as was pointed out by numerous commenters. I went a little bit tighter than you did in an effort to bring the view, make it feel closer. Like it should feel waterfronty because the water's right out the door. You know, it's what, 50 feet from the threshold of the door to the slope down to the water. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was kind of cool. I think graphically it's very interesting. I think you've got these really cool repetitive shapes in the ceiling. I think I arranged the furniture well to kind of pull your eye right out, you know, into what's important. Is it a little bit busy? I absolutely think it is very busy, but that's just kind of the interior design. And I really wish I was shooting tethered. I was shooting without having any kind of tethering solution, so I was just eyeballing it behind the camera, which was very difficult to actually judge how busy certain things were. So there's my number one.
So my critique of this, I like it more than I thought I would. I really dislike those chairs that are back with the flowers. Yeah. And at the very least, the one that's on the right, I want that out of there.
Yeah, well, I feel like you mess with the symmetry as soon as you start doing that, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know. I really don't like those chairs. And then my only other critique is I feel like the exposure outside is a little like weird and fishy looking. If you look at the windows on the right side, it feels like more of a correct exposure. Yeah. But then out this window, it feels like it's way overexposed, and you just slid the highlight slider back to -100 or whatever, and so it's got this HDR feel to it.
What happened was, and I got so frustrated editing this damn picture. The flowers are definitely a little nuclear exposure-wise. Yeah. But in order to bring out some of the blue, I pulled down the luminance in the blue channels to kind of make it a little more punchy. So yeah, there's some of that, but I felt like if I didn't do that, the sky was just pure white, and I wanted to show that it was a sunny, scene out there. So yeah, was it a little bit overcooked? Probably. I think my big problem is those chairs. In hindsight's always 20/20 when you don't have 3 people making fun of you. Is move these 2 chairs in the foreground 90 degrees to in front of the fireplace and have them face the couch and get rid of those blue chairs. But
that's weird, right? To put chairs in front of a fireplace.
Not directly in front of it, but like angled 45 degrees towards the couch. Okay. That would be my.
And then get rid of the flower chairs.
And get rid of the flower chairs. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would like that too, but much better than I expected.
All right, here's my front exterior, which you did not even photograph, did you?
I did take a snapshot real quick before I went in, like just to cover my butt, but yeah, I didn't use it.
I like this photograph. People were kind of hating on it because there's a tree in the foreground. Well, yeah, you're in South Carolina in the middle of the forest,
Yeah, I feel like it's okay. I feel like it's okay. I
feel like it tells the story of the house. It feels like a nice golden hour type of shot. I feel like it has a good mood to it. It's simple. Is it going to win awards? I don't necessarily think it's the greatest photograph I've ever taken, but I like it for what it does.
Okay. Next up. Well,
here's my vertical. I kind of am of the school of thought that things look cooler when they're bigger, so fill the frame rather than shoot at 17. Was that the right move in hindsight? I don't really know. But I think I wanted an impactful vertical shot, whereas your vertical shot was just kind of like, bleh. It's like, what are we looking at?
Yeah, I know.
So I went, kind of used these gables or eaves, whatever the term is, as sort of like this repetitive element to try to make some sort of rhythm out of the photo. Did I crop it a little tight? Yeah, but because we had to go vertical. Would it be maybe a square? Yeah, but then my horizontals get really small and they lose visual impact. So I think this is a victim of the layout. I do think that the wider shot where you see the whole house is a little bit better. But yeah, that's my thought process on that. And I like, you got the pool in the foreground. It's clear that there's a pool there. I think it makes sense visually. It's simple. You got, again, the famous Spanish moss up there. You got the nice trees. I think it's bright, but not too bright as to be fake. It doesn't look too dark. Like I feel like a lot of Twilights tend to be very, very dark. So I'm happy with it. I just wish I could have cropped it a little bit differently.
Because your exterior of the dome house, you added this vignette. And
I vignette everything. it's a bunch of keyboard warriors complaining about my vignette, surrounded by crumbs from their Cheetos. Like, I'm the one out there working. You're complaining about my vignette. Give me a break. I vignette everything. Come at me.
Man, you need to get some taste or something. The number one comment on YouTube last time was like, unless Mike Kelley just learned about the vignette slider in Lightroom, there's no way in hell he would have done that to one of his images.
That ground my gears so much.
So, I don't think there's any doubt that this vertical is far better than my vertical. I mean, my vertical hardly even has a house in it.
Is it the strongest photograph? I admit, I was editing it and I was kind of like, but I committed at that point, you know?
All right, let's look at your montage. Oh, interesting. You made the vertical like way bigger.
Visual impact. Was that the right call? I don't know.
What is your favorite, second favorite, and last favorite
My
image?
favorite, I think, is the front exterior.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it feels like to be there.
It's
Did I say that right? It looks like
okay.
what it would feel like to be there. It looks like South Carolina. You got those super punchy greens, right? That happens for a month in June or May, or whatever it is. You got the puffy clouds, nice golden light raking across
I just
the
want to
landscape.
see a little bit more of that golden light. It feels like...
Again, victim of the crop. The original is a 4x3, I think, and it comes up to like here, and it's framed nicely by the trees. Sacrifices had to be made, Lee. I agree with you.
All right, and your second favorite?
I think I'm going to tie it on the interior and exterior. I both think the idea is good, but the execution didn't go all the way for both of them. Like I said, I didn't really move any of the furniture. It was so freaking hot. I was being heckled. I didn't finish it all the way that I usually would have. It's too busy. I should have pulled more flowers out. I remember we were talking about the flowers.
Yeah.
And the post-production was done in 12 hours, so it was a tight turnaround, and things were missed. So it was a perfect no, but under the conditions, I'm happy with what I got.
So what was it like editing the Fujifilm 50 megapixel files?
I thought I did not have to correct the color on any of these photos, and I know someone out there is going to be like, the color's wrong, but I think the color looked amazing. There's hardly any adjustments. Definitely a big step up from the SLRs that I've been using for my entire career. And I thought the detail was really, really nice as well. At 100%, I know you don't really see it in the video at 100%, but the files, they were beautiful files, easy to work with. Did it blow my mind? And I was like, wow, I would not say so, but there were many marginal improvements that I thought were definitely really helpful for this genre.
I think it's interesting, it's just different shooting in the different aspect ratio.
Yeah.
It kind of opens up other doors.
Yeah.
Now you could, I have a tendency to make square images. It's not shooting in a square format,
Right.
but you just have to crop a little bit on the edges. And then I'm also tempted to crop vertical images from
horizontal.
Yeah, it's just kind of a different way of thinking.
I do that all because I like the 2x3 aspect ratio of an SLR for horizontal pictures. I loathe it for vertical pictures.
Oh, it's a little too. It's a little too.
It feels
thin.
like it's like a.
Yes,
it's
I agree.
Brutal.
I agree.
So I like this aspect ratio better, absolutely. It kind of feels like I can see more of what's going on around me, and it's easier to get away with vertical. It's really hard for me to frame up verticals with my SLR, and honestly, I think you can see that in my portfolio. Mostly horizontal, sort of wider landscape type shots, but with the Fuji, it's definitely easier, and that was something I didn't expect at all. So,
who do you think won?
I hope that I won. I think I won. But I said the same thing last time, and I got destroyed, and it ruined me emotionally for like 6 months. So let's see what happens this time.
I have to say I was oddly nervous about this. Like, I don't care if I lose. This is all fun and games. But I don't want to lose this one. I've lost the last 2 competitions in a row.
Yeah.
And I don't really care. But this one, I kind of felt sick to my stomach last night leaving here, and I was just like, all right, I just have to submit these, and I just didn't feel great.
I bet you felt like, like when you were in college and you procrastinated on an essay, and you were like, damn it.
Yes.
I wish that I actually studied for this test.
But here's the thing, but I didn't really care in college because I was like, I'll get a B and it'll be fine.
Yeah,
but
he's
this,
cool. He's really cool, guys. Just so you know.
no, it was like, this isn't going out. Like our last video got over 1 million views.
I know, that was crazy.
So it felt good to beat the world's best architecture photographer and shame him in the way that I did. And so, if I could do it 2 times in a row, it would just be the greatest feeling in the world for me. So, I have to say, when I edited my photos and I did my 3-shot montage last night, I thought, I'm gonna lose this. I don't think there's any way I can win this. After seeing your photos,
oh, they're that bad, huh?
I feel better.
Oh,
I feel
God.
better. I don't feel super confident like I did last time, but I do feel better.
I feel like there's at least thought put into these. I mean,
you don't think there's thought in mine?
No, look at this. What is this? What is that? What is this? Look at the careful consideration. I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I can already taste the disappointment when I somehow get outvoted again.
Well, if you lose, you're just going to have to kill yourself. If I lose, then we have to do, another rematch.
Best out of 7 at that point, right?
Best out of 15. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready. Wait, no.
Here we go.
Yeah! Thank you for making it loud and clear.
I am okay with this. I am okay with this.
Can I just say, the last time, even though, yes, this is my career when I shoot hundreds of projects a year or whatever, I was emotionally destroyed. And my girlfriend had to hold, not literally hold me, but coach me for the next 2 weeks to get out of that funk. I think she told you about this. So I was just ready. I had accepted a possibility of a loss, so I'm very happy.
You know what's so funny is
Thank you, Internet.
We make YouTube videos together all the time, and they get 15,000 views, and the one where you lose gets over 1 million.
Yeah. It's one of the most. I think it's the most viewed, the biggest video I've ever been in, and it's me just getting systematically destroyed. Shooting the Dome House, so I was just and it just got worse and worse and worse. I was like, okay, the view count can stop going up any day now.
Yeah.
And I go on the next day, it's 300,000, 400,000, 500,000. I'm like, oh my Lanta, what is going on?
Yeah. Well, if we were looking at the results from the last images, I felt so confident in our last one. I felt like I really liked my images. Yeah. I wasn't that confident with this one, so congratulations. I feel like you deserve it. All right, so let's see what the community thought about who took what shot. I would imagine, since you won, people think you're a better photographer than me. I would imagine it's going to be very similar, 70% to 30%.
I'm sure that...
Clearly, Mike Kelley took set 1, Lee took 2. So 65% of people got it right. What was entertaining for me, and now we get to go and read the post and what everybody said, but I was entertained by how many people in your group got it wrong. That was difficult for you to read, wasn't it?
It was difficult for me to read because I had to get involved.
Yeah, I know. You tried to cheat.
I felt personally attacked by some of the comments.
And now here's the thing. I know what you want to do right now. I know you want to go to your group and be like, I won. Don't worry, everyone. Here's why my images are best. Everyone who thinks that Lee took the best shot, let me explain to you why he didn't. But
no,
you can't.
I'm gonna take the high road.
You have to wait until this video comes out.
I will.
Well, congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
You beat me fair and square. I'm a little ashamed of what I put up.
I was very nervous. I did not want to film this coming in. I did not want to be here to film this.
I was nervous too.
I was literally thinking I'm going to LA in 3 days or something. I've got 3 or 4 jobs lined up. And I'm like, I am going to be emotionally destroyed for these jobs. Well, I got beat again in this competition.
Your clients had me on standby. They were like, Lee, if you win this competition, we need to swap you out for Mike.
Crisis averted. Thank you, guys.
Well, Mike, we're tied up.
1-1.
I have lost 3 competitions in a row.
You better step it up. Why don't you move it to a genre that you're comfortable with, I
am comfortable with this, Mike. It's down to me and David as to who's the worst photographer on the planet right now. We are on a losing streak. David's lost 100% of his one contest. I've lost 100% of the last 3 contests. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more about every detail of architectural photography, check out the tutorials that we did with Mike. You can go over to fstoppers.com/store. How many are we doing? We've done 3.
3.5, yeah.
Yeah, 3 tutorials, and we just released a sky library. If you're already an architectural photographer, you might be interested in that. And big thanks to all of the sponsors. Definitely check out all of the links in the description or the post that we're doing on Fstoppers about this. Congratulations, Mike, you got me.